take some metal off of here, as you can see. We're just taking a little metal off to get the prongs down, and, you know, make it easier to work with. And then we're just getting most of the metal off the top part of this prong. This wheel has a certain type of pumice. If you want diamond grit embedded in it, not diamond grit, but a different type of pumice to, like you'd buy sandpaper, and we buy them with different types of grits to them so that we can polish things down. And, you know, if this was some type of colored stone, I would not be using this grit of wheel because it would damage the colored stone. But because it's a diamond, we can hit the diamond, it won't hurt it at all. Diamond's the hardest substance. Sapphire, ruby, diamond, we can use this wheel on. But we have other wheels that work on softer stones. And now we're going to take a file here, and we're going to now file away the extra metal. You'll see. And the nice thing about this little file is that it has a flat edge to it, which doesn't hurt the stone, but it has the filing edge so that we can go around the prong and round it. And this is another area, if you ever have a piece of jewelry, you know, go at it with some magnifiers and see what they've done to your prongs. And this is a good way to see how good your stone setter is, if he's filed the prongs nice and round, if they're down on top of the stone properly. You know, that whole bit, getting it filed and finished properly is a big part of stone setting, and it eliminates problems later on. And it just shows a little bit of expertise that it's not being made, you know, in some kind of factory operation. It's done by hand, and you know, that's the nice thing about having your own business. You can put the time in to doing it properly. You don't have a bunch of people, you know, that may or may not have the expertise to do the kind of work. And especially where we're dealing with a 2-carat diamond like this. The diamond has quite a bit of value to it, even with the chips in it. It may be $20,000 when it's done. So, you know, you want to take your time and do this. One of the things that we suggested to this client is that she have the diamond recut. Now, we did a recut formula. I did on this diamond, and unfortunately it's going to lose about 40 points of weight in the recutting process, but it would increase the grade, the clarity grade of the diamond by like 4 grades, because internally the stone is very clean. But when we did the cost analysis, I believe it was $600 or $800 to have the diamond recut, and then we calculated what it would come out to and what its grade would be. It really didn't make too much difference, and the client would have had a significantly smaller stone. Yeah, so that was probably a no-go. And, you know, it does have some love marks on it. That's what we'll call them. We're now at the point where we've got the seats cut. The prongs are down on top of the diamond. There's no gap between the seat and the stone itself. And we filed the prongs down. And now we're going to take one more wheel to this. And this is not the final process of polishing, but what's going to happen now is we're going to take a wheel and polish the edges down here. And see we're going around the top of the prong. This is a silicone wheel. It has a different grit to it than the other one. Much smoother. You'll see it's actually kind of shiny now. It's looking good. And looks good. Not too bad, huh? And now what I'm doing is running the wheel over all the sharp edges that there would be on the metal to get that off there. Now that we've got that down, we're going to take one more wheel here, and that wheel is kind of what we call a knife edge wheel, and that will take off the final bit of material that's on there, and I think that'll probably take care of it. Looking for a little bit here. like that was our old stone box. You notice we have a box full of old stones in there. Oh, here it is. Looking all over for it, and there it is. Oh, wrong mounting. That was your old mounting. Okay, now we're still working on the new mounting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a final polishing. We're going to polish it on a wheel with different types of grits and get it nice and shiny. And then we're going to put it into an ultrasonic cleaner and clean all the other compounds off there. Get it looking shiny, and then we're going to come back and inspect it and see where we're at. Make sure the stone is tight one more time before we hand it off. Okay, and there you go. Looks like we're pretty much set here. We've polished the ring. Everything's looking good on the metal. And right now we're going to test to make sure the stone is not moving in there. We're going to try to push it, move it. You'll see right here, you probably can't see it, but there's the big chip. And then there's one over here. So what we're trying to do here is see if this moves at all. And it looks like it's in there good. Everything's set, and so we're ready to roll. Job complete. Probably the easier job to do than replacing a whole head, that's for sure. One of the things about white gold is that a lot of jewelers make extra money electroplating your white gold ring in rhodium plating all the time. And honestly, this is a big money boondoggle for the jewelers. We make a lot of our rings in what's called 14 karat X gold. It's 14 karat gold, but it's a formulation where it doesn't need to be plated anymore. It stays white, it doesn't turn a yellow color. But I will tell you this, that you know, the plating won't come off because there isn't any plating. You don't have to pay $50 every few months to get it electroplated, and it retains its nice white color. And so we suggest this as a formulation for a lot of our jewelry. But if you do have a white gold ring and you've gotten sick of paying the jeweler $50 every few months to make it white again, all you have to do is buff it up a little. We bring it in here, we'll buff it up, take us a couple minutes, and it'll look white again without having to electroplate it. Use a light buffing material on it, and it's perfectly fine after that. So we're now going to finish the appraisal process. The stone's been graded and weighed and measured, and what we're going to do now is weigh the mounting, and since we made it, we know what the caratage is. And then we're going to go out into the marketplace and, for insurance purposes, determine what this ring sells for. And so, you know, we'll get to that later. You'll see some videos on us doing appraisals and what's involved in that process. So, thanks for joining us, and come back and see us again.